There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
All right. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live at NEU University. So, Sly and Global Solutions. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the singing of the national anthem, followed by the NEU hymn.
Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baba, may nilagang tula at awit sa pagkayong and alma mater. With pride, not holding it forever. With honor, we'll march beneath thy banner. Thy golden flame will always remember. We pledge to thee eternal loyalty. We will win until the fame and glory. With fervent prayers to the Almighty, we'll be united till eternity. Glory to God, our Lord Almighty, and selfless service to humanity.
Okay, so again, welcome everybody. And hello, New Year University. Good afternoon. Ready na ba kayo? I hope nag-lunch na kayo. So, by the way, my name is Joyce from Academic Linkages, and I'll be your today's host. So, we're hoping that everybody is excited to learn new things today. So, to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Julie Valencia, the Director of the Office of Career Placement in Industry Linkages, for the opening remarks.
Hey everyone, to the administrators who are here, to the deans, the Oakville coordinators, alumni, and students especially who are attending this webinar with Jobs 180. We are so lucky and very fortunate to be the main audience of Jobs 180. This is solely for New Era University. In behalf of the school administration, we would like to extend our gratitude to the organizers, special mention to Sir Kim Chu for having this memorable event. Our dear students, you are the most important characters in this event. So, take the opportunity to learn how to market yourselves. You will not be marketing products and services, but you will be marketing yourselves to the different prestigious companies that may hire you in the future as employees. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this activity. And we would like to remind everyone, if they have already created their resume links. So again, happy listening and have a good day, everyone.
All right, so thank you for that, ma'am. And as usual, for the New Year students, we'd like to know where you're from. So please comment your name and year, of course, your strand, and type in your questions so we can answer them after the talk. So don't forget to share this also to your friends. Okay, so here is our schedule for today's session. So we have online applications, which will be presented by jobs180.com. We also have the virtual interviews from Sly and hiring for work from home jobs from TSG Global Solutions. Okay, so again, shout out to everyone who is here now. Again, please comment your name and your strand. So as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Okay, so kilalanin na po natin ang ating mga speakers. So first, we have um, the managing director of jobs180.com, who has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. Also, as a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. Okay, so Mr. Kim Chua, the managing director of jobs180.com. Okay, sir.
Everyone. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala tong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, ito ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-log in. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat makabala. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? What you're doing now is you're trying to observe namin mga HR. Pag ilagay mo lang na some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography. Lang yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, 'di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, 'di ba? Certificate, diploma, 'yan, ebidensya 'yan, okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, 'di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets mo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo, hanggang sa kaibigan. Okay, hiramin mo sa kaibigan mo, i-record mo yung video mo. Use a something about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng magandang kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay, make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamalan ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, di ba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yun pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na papabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay niyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because you submit all this information to the company, when they opens ResumeLink and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin. Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung diretso na process sa inyo. Okay? Alam ko if you're thinking, sir, gumawa ko ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakata ng mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko lahat na sa internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. You can go to your settings. Specific yung privacy setting. In privacy setting, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw pakita ang address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw pakita what do you do? Turn it off. So lahat ng off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino i-control niyan? Kayo lang. Diba? Ang maganda pa dito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Diba?
Hello guys. Okay, so we're very sorry we're having tech issues pero okay na, inaayos na. So okay, so we will start ulit on the step 3. Okay. So sorry, hindi tayo ganun talaga pag hindi live. Okay. Okay. Alam niyo naman ang internet sa Pilipinas. Okay, so balik po tayo.
Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun, no? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, wag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon, by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, tsaka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa party namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data . Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. Diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo may text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pang mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Ito yung dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet if you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet. You cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam niya mo, kanya mabukpro at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung din baguhin, lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sir Kim. Okay.
Yes.
So, hello, Sir Kim. So,
Joyce.
ulit, gusto po ulit namin mag-ask ng apology sa mga viewers natin. So, kung nagkaroon man ng technical problems. Okay, so sa mga viewers na nakamiss doon sa topic sa resume link na Sir Kim, i-ask na lang natin bakit importante na magkaroon. Ito, sir, yung question bakit importante na magkaroon ng resume, especially the resume link, since required ito sa mga graduating students ni New Era.
Okay, thank you for that question. Now, una sa lahat, alam naman natin ang virtual setting right now, no? Pag medyo kumukulimlim na ang panahon, nagcha-choppy na. Pagka umuulan na, napuputol na talaga yung internet, no? Pag bumabagyo, wala talaga internet. Yan ang kadalasan. Anyway, to answer your question, bakit importante ang ating resume link? At saka bakit siya nire-require sa lahat ng mga graduate ngayon sa New Era University? Now, the reason why this is being required to you, huwag niyo po masamain, no? The school cares for you. Mashi. No? Pero totoo, the school cares for you. That's the real reason why they wanted you to have a resume link. One, for the reason that your information will be secured. Because definitely, pagka-graduate nyo, marami sa inyo, if not all of you, will be starting to look for a job. Sigurado yan, maghanap kayong trabaho. Unless na lang kayo ang COO, child of the owner ng kumpanya nyo, mag-a-apply na lang kayo sa mga magulang nyo. Siguro, or maybe you'll just take over your family business. But not everyone is as privileged as those with their own family business. So I think marami po sa atin, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, in between jobs, naghahanap ng trabaho, or malamang wala pa rin trabaho, no? Since the time na graduate sila. Kaya siguradong maghanap tayong trabaho. And for that to happen, you need your profile, you need your information. And where do you put them? Diba? Kadalasan kasi ang alam natin yung mga traditional format, kagaya ng Word file, yung mga PDF file, document file, yan yung mga nakasanayan natin. And wala naman ako sinasabing masama yun, no? Hindi ko sinabing mali yun. Okay lang na may ganun tayong mga format. Pero if you want your information to be more secured, ito yung gamitin nyo, itong resume link. Because you have all the options that I've presented earlier. You can attach it. Yung kung may Word file na kayo, you can in fact attach the entire Word file inside your document portion sa loob ng resume link. Kung tinatamad na kayo mag-fill out ng form. Diba? Pero kung ako sa inyo, fill out nyo pa rin yung form nyo so that you will be getting mga job matches, yung mga possible job opportunities na nagmamatch sa profile ninyo doon sa mga companies na naghahanap din ng same profile. Diba? So it will make your life easier and simpler. So that's the reason. Huwag niyo pong masamain. Ito yung totoo. The school cares for you. Ayaw nilang lumabas kayo sa school, graduate kayo ng school na hindi kayo handa. No, yan ang dahilan. Kung bakit din, shout out ako ulit kung bakit din we have right now more than 400 colleges and university partners nationwide because I believe itong mga schools nila, yung mga alma mater nila cares for them. Okay? So yan. I hope na-answer ko yung tanong ni Ma'am Joyce.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, so pwede pa ba mag-ask isang question? May question tayo
sige lang.
from
Tanong ka lang ng tanong.
our audience. So, galing po kay Miss Julius Reyes. So, ang question niya, sir, ay, does work immersion count as a work experience?
Oh yes, Sir
Ayan.
Julius, work immersion, OJT, internship, kung ano man ang tatawagin natin dyan, work experience is work experience pa rin. Okay, sabi ko nga, summer job, part-time job, full-time job, racket-racket, sideline, diba? Weekend job. Sabihin na natin, may pasok ka sa school, tapos sa weekend, tumutulong ka rin sa ibang sideline or trabaho. These are all work experiences na totoong trabaho. Okay, kaya like ko sinasabi, pagdating sa portion of work experience, huwag kayong mag-iimbento. Okay, kasi pag iimbento kayo, malalaman na HR yan, konting tanong lang sa interview, bookingan time na yan. Okay, so do not put yourself in that scenario. I'd rather you tell them the truth, na racket lang to or sideline lang, at least alam nila. Diba? Na ganun ang, kumbaga, experience yan eh. So it's an actual application. But to answer your question, yes. Ang dami ko sinabi. Yung tanong lang naman is, does it count as a work experience? Yes. Okay, Sir Julius? Thank you. May isa pang question, Ma'am Joyce, nakikita ko. Ayan.
Apo, ito. Okay, so ang question ay, is it really that important to include all the certifications and achievements that you've received so far, even if those certifications or achievements are not related to the particular job description?
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Rian. Sorry. Sir pala. Sir Rian Lowell. Nakita ko yung picture. Parang naka-blazer, naka-Amerikana. Okay. Well, to answer your question, it is important to include all these things. Kahit wala siyang connect sa course mo, wala siyang connect sa job description na pinapasukan mo, alam niyo kung bakit? Bala mo yan eh. Diba? Sabi ko nga kanina, as an example, even if you are a graduate of, let's say, example lang hospitality, ang course mo, no? Nasa HRM ka. Wala kang, hindi mo sa wala, marami ka rin ibang alam, mga certification program sa example, sa IT, mahilig ka sa photography, sa graphic design, sa programming, kahit walang connect sa course mo sa hospitality at sa HRM, you can put it there. Because those HR, when they look at your profile, yan ang isa sa unang-una na tinitignan, yung skills. So when they see all these things, how do you back up your skills? Ito yung ebidensya mo, yung mga certification mo, tsaka yung mga achievement mo. Diba? These will speak for what you're claiming. Okay? So I hope nasagot ko yung tanong ni Rian, ni Lowell. Ayan. Okay, ayos ba? Ayos!
Okay, so I think wala na po. So, okay, thank you, Sir Kim, for that.
Maraming salamat din.
Yes,
Thank you. Be safe.
Yes,
be safe, everyone. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so shout out sa ating mga viewers. So, may nakikita ako na parang from BSBA, kay marketing, IT, and CCS from college communication pa. You guys have sobrang daming viewers natin from New Year University nakakatawa. Okay, so let's proceed to our topic and to our next presenter. Okay, so we have two presenter or invited guests from AMSI. Okay, so we have Miss Myra Caballas Nalda and Sir Dan Martin Artagon Brianya. So Miss Myra is currently the head of the Organizational Development Department under Human Capital Division of the Air Material Wing Savings and Loan Association Incorporated, or AMSI. She's been an HR professional for 17 years in different capacities, handling talent acquisition, training and development, performance management, job evaluation, employee or labor relations, and organizational development, and has served HR consulting service and financial service. And we also Mr. Dan Martin, our Tagnon A. Brianya, the Talent Acquisition Associate of AMSLI. So Mr. Brianya is currently employed as Talent Acquisition Associate under Organizational Development of Air Material Wing Savings and Loan Association, or AMSLI, and he's been also in the HR field for more than 4 years now, handling end-to-end talent acquisition and other HR function from his previous employers prior to AMSLI. He is a registered psychometrician and a graduate of PS Psychology and San Beda University, formerly known as San Beda College in Diola, Manila. Okay, so let's have Miss Myra and Mr.
Okay
Dan
lang ba
Martin.
mag-share sa'yo?
Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir.
Hi, good
Hello
afternoon.
po. Ayan po.
Hello.
Hello
Hi,
po.
Miss
Hi, ma'am.
Joyce.
Yes. So let's test po your screen now.
Yes, wait. Okay, hello.
There.
Good
So, ma'am,
afternoon.
ma'am, sir, you have 20 minutes po and I'll be back na lang po for the Q&A. Take it away po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the generous introduction, Miss Joyce. Good afternoon, everyone. Dan and I are honored to be with you today to give you tips and tricks on attending virtual interviews.
Okay, so thank you, Jobson 80 and New Era University for this great opportunity. Yeah. So before we start, let us siguro introduce ourselves siguro a little bit clearer. We are AMSLI, or Air Material Wings Savings and Loans Association, Savings and Loan Association Incorporated, and we are a financial institution that provides financial services to our what do you call this? The Bayaning Pilipino, or the
Yes.
Filipino heroes, which branches from the Army, the Philippine National Police, and the others like Philippine Coast Guard, the Bureau of Fire Protection, and the BJMP, or the Bureau of Jail Management and Protection, and some others na hindi pa namin siguro na-reach, but someday we might. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So there, thank you, Dan. So you have this topic already, virtual interviews, right? So as organizations practice physical distancing as a safety precaution against the spread of COVID-19, the hiring process has become virtual, di ba, Dan?
Yes. And according to JobVite, survey in April 2020, 61% of the recruiters surveyed indicated that they are using video as part of the screening process, and 80% are using it in the interview process.
Yeah, sobrang laki na, no? So, significant na yung percentage
significant.
talaga, oo, na gumagamit ng virtual interviews as part of their hiring or screening process. Okay? So, what is a virtual interview?
Okay, so virtual interview is an interview that takes place while the interview is offsite, or you're in another room,
Another place, yeah.
another place, using telephone, video, instant messaging, web conferencing, or another form of virtual technology. So hindi lang siya nagsasara sa cellphone, it can be also used in other siguro technology and other gadgets na may be used. So some other companies will be using siguro iPads na at the time, and some others will be using laptops, not just cell phones and iPads, also laptops. And it can be done at home or anywhere else na hindi magkaharap yung interviewer and interviewee.
Pero I believe, Dan, the most common is yung using video, right?
Yes.
Yung video interviews.
Mhm.
So we will be focusing our discussions today on virtual interviews using videos. Okay. So, first, we'd like to share the types of virtual interviews.
Okay, so the following are the types of virtual interviews. Number one, the phone interview. Telephone conversation between one or more interviewers and one interviewee. During a phone interview, the only interaction is between the interviewer and interviewee, hearing each other's voices.
Oh, so yun yung tawagan na
tamang
usual na alam natin. Oo.
Yeah.
So tatawagan kayo sa cellphone using your mobile number that you have shared to the company, and then yun, that's already a phone interview, right, Dan?
Yes,
So,
usually ang phone interview rin is nangyayari siya pag initial interviews only, mostly.
yeah. Oh.
Okay,
For
so
the
next is
initial.
automated interview. This is quite popular in other countries, but in the Philippines, not yet, actually. So it's an online one-way interview. Interviewer pre-selects interview questions for the interviewee to answer on their own time. Okay, so kumbaga naka-set na yung questions, bibidyoan mo lang yung sarili mo, kumbaga, na sinasagot mo yung questions nila.
So, Dan, pwede siyang paulit-ulit, no?
Yes.
Hanggang ma-satisfy ka doon sa sagot mo. Oo.
Pwede mo siyang i-cut until siguro ikaw you make yourself your own director. So all candidates are usually asked the same pre-selected questions. Yun.
Yeah.
And there are no follow-up questions, which makes this popular in other countries kasi karamihan sa kanila they have no time to ask further questions.
And on your part as applicants, walang masyadong kaba, no?
Yes.
Less
kasi
pressure kasi parang nagbibideo mo lang yung sarili.
Doon mo makikita, are you confident with what you have shown? Yun. Some platforms that offer this feature are timed. So the interviewee only has a certain amount of time to answer each question. Yun. So naka-base din kay employer kung gaano katagal niya gusto makita yung question mo, gaano kakabilis mag-isip. Lastly is the live interview or online two-way interview, face-to-face conversation between the interviewer or interviewers and the interviewee using video. Mostly ito yung sinasabi lang Zoom interview,
Yeah.
Google
That was common.
Google Meet interview, or any other platforms na face-to-face pero virtual.
Yeah, particularly kami, ginagamit na namin to. So I was mentioning kanina na this is the most common, I believe, here in the Philippines. So we'll be focusing our discussions on that. Okay? So given the limitations of technology and the cost that comes with automation, the most common and practical among the three types is the live interview talaga. So there. So why the shift to virtual interviews? Kanina pinakita namin na around 80% na ang gumagamit using the survey. So although itong 80% siguro worldwide to, no? So dito sa atin
Mas mataas siya.
Yeah, okay. So why the shift to virtual interviews? Kahit dito sa Philippines, ginagamit na natin siya. So number one, of course, is safety. So given the pandemic, alam naman nating lahat, hindi tayo pwedeng gumala kasi may tanod, joke. Hindi tayo pwedeng gumala ng basta-basta because we have these restrictions, government restrictions. So number one talagang reason natin for shifting to virtual interviews is safety. So given the pandemic, sabi ko nga, all companies are bound to keep their employees and applicants safe from COVID-19. So this is also in compliance with DOLE, DOH, IATF, and all government regulations relative to the prevention of the spread of COVID-19. Number two is convenience. So, with virtual interview, syempre sobrang convenience, hindi ka na masyadong magpre-prepare. Although meron pa rin, of course. We'll be sharing later yung preparations na kailangan ninyong gawin. So, hindi na masyadong inconvenient for you kasi hindi ka na magta-travel from your home to the office. So, hindi ka na sasakay ng MRT, LRT. Wala nang masyadong hassle kasi bubuksan mo lang yung laptop mo as long as you're prepared, you're way to go. Diba? So, number three, you save time, of course. Kasi in connection with that also, you save time kasi, as mentioned, you don't need to travel. Kagaya nung sinabi ko kanina, from one place to another. Tapos, pwedeng naka-ready na yung, halimbawa, nag-search ka na ng common interview questions, medyo alam mo na yung sasabihin, hindi masyadong hahaba na rin yung interview. This is also good for the employers kasi medyo targeted na rin yung mangyayaring answers nung ano. So, more time for you to prepare, of course. Yun. Especially kung traffic, sino ba ang gustong makipagbuno sa traffic? Lalo na ngayon, matatakot tayo talagang umalis-alis ng bahay. So, yun. Those are the common reasons why nag-shift ang isang company to a virtual interview. Okay.
So, yes, that's why we are now shifting to virtual interviews. Okay, so
Oo.
number one key is to be fully prepared sa isang virtual interview kasi sa virtual interview kasi usually minsan nagkakaroon ng technical difficulties or some other things na kahit sa personal interview, nagkakaroon ka ng problems.
Yeah.
Yan.
Lalo na to kasi ito technical. Hindi naman tayo lahat techie, 'di ba? So we don't really know kung paano ba to operate, what button to press, yung mga ganon. So kahit less time to prepare siya, more on the technological side naman yung kailangan mong i-prepare. So yun, kahit naman sa in-person interview, di ba, Dan, you have to prepare also.
And
So same with
also,
this.
yun pala, and also, to add to that, what makes a great virtual interview is yung impression, you can control yung impression sa'yo nung interviewer mo. Maling background, maling impression na may papakita mo dyan. So pag you can siguro manipulate the background, lagyan mo ng book sa likod mo. That's another way of preparation.
Yeah. Okay.
Side note lang.
Yeah, okay. So there, we are here primarily because we want to share with you some tips and tricks on how to prepare for a virtual interview. So what are the things to do prior the interview? Number one is the technology test. Diba, Dan? As mentioned kanina, yung usual na ginagamit natin pag usual interview Zoom, ano pa yung iba, yung Google Meet, or what?
Some of these platforms will be using a lot of bandwidth. So minsan mabagal siya for your internet or others kaya naman sa data lang. And others kasi minsan mahina yung signal. So test it before giving your number. Mamaya sabihin, hindi ka kasi sumasagot, so hindi ka na pumasok sa
So
interview
bad impression
mo.
na kaagad yun.
Bad impression na yun. So sinasabi nila, hindi ka kasi sumasagot. That's usually I call 10 times ang isang applicant ko. So kaya minsan that's how we test their technology.
Yeah, okay. There. So, number 2, choose your environment or your appearance. Siyempre, ito na yung iisipin mo, ano bang background yung maganda? Dapat ba office? Dapat ba yung background ko dagat or ano? So, yun. Siyempre, of course, this is professional interview. Kumbaga, dapat formal din. Kung hindi man kaya na, halimbawa, nasa bahay ka, tapos hindi kayang magkaroon ng magpapintura ka pa ng wall nyo or what, pwede maglagay ka na lang siguro ng cloth at the back.
Yun din. Another is, hindi siya nasasara sa live interview, sa face-to-face na mga Zoom interviews and other platforms. Remember, your calls, naririnig ko rin yung background nyo and other interviewers. So, if you have a dog, siguro, you can siguro move to another place na hindi maririnig si dog or si cat. Actually, I have heard sa mga interviews ko, both pets either meowing because they had 5 cats. Isa naman, dog growling kasi they had 9 dogs. So, it's also not just close live interviews.
Okay. So, number 3, on what to prepare prior interview is, of course, you have on how to prepare pala is to practice prior interview. So, we'll expound on that then. Number 1, yung technology test, which we have mentioned earlier. Number 1, you have to ensure na reliable yung internet connection mo.
Yes,
diba?
I said earlier.
Oo. Kasi wala na. Once naputol yung internet mo, mahirap na rin kasi babalik pa. Siyempre, yung impression. We're saying here na you have to make a good impression on the company that you're applying with. So, number 2, Dan, download necessary software.
Yes, yung mga viable sa internet connection nyo and then the next is kung gumagana ba yung microphone nyo or yung video nyo. Mamaya yung video nyo kitang-kita nga pero shadow lang pala kayo. And yung microphone kanina nagte-test kami niyan bago kami mag-start dito. Parang kukunin na ako sa langit because of the lighting.
May medyo foggy, ganun. So, yun, kailangan you have to check kung okay yung video nyo, gumagana ba. And of course, your microphone para marinig kayo during the interview. So, number 4, have a contingency plan. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, this is technology. Sometimes hindi talaga natin makontrol, lalo na yung magkakaroon ng biglang nawala ng internet, hindi naman natin na-foresee yun. So, we have to prepare also for that. We must think kung anong yung pwede natin gawin para na contingency plan. For example, you can just use your data, nawalan ka ng wifi. So, dapat meron kang stand-up halimbawa na kahit cellphone na lang para doon mababalikan ka ng company. Diba? Okay, so next, choose your location or environment. So you have to limit or remove distractions. Yung sinasabi ni Dan kanina na dapat walang mga background noises. Oo, yun. Or yung background mo dapat hindi yung merong mga nakasampay sa likod. Siyempre, di ba?
Nakakaya naman.
Nakakahiya din yun. You have to make an impression. Yung professional ka and all. So, yun. So, yung setup din, kasama din yun. Di ba, Dan? No?
And the setup and dress up. Other interviewers na nakita ko, naka-t-shirt and shorts lang. So, always remember, this is an interview. You are applying for a job. You're not just talking with your friends. You're applying for a job. We're not being, what do you call this? We're not being pressured. You're not being pressured sa application mo. Pero at least, dress up. Yun lang naman.
So, in line with that, we'd like to share kung ano ba yung usual na dapat good grooming or attire during virtual interview. Of course, parang ganito lang din sa in-person interview, di ba, Dan? Yung parang nagpunta ka sa office, parang dapat ganun lang din yung ibibigay mong impression sa company na ina-applyan mo. So, here on the screen is shown kung ano yung business or professional attire. Pwede rin namang business casual attire. Huwag lang yung sabi nga nila, naka-t-shirt ka lang or sando, spaghetti, di ba? Kasi hindi naman ikaw nakikipag-usap lang sa close friends mo or what. You're making an impression here. Okay, so yun, shown on the screen, dapat neat yung pagkakasuklay ng buhok mo. Yun, hairstyle, dapat maayos.
Pwede mo rin i-differentiate kung ano yung gagawin mo later sa company. Kunwari sinabi, i-interview ka, haharap ka sa isang head or haharap ka sa isang interviewer, it's best to wear a professional attire, a business professional attire. Pero pag sinabi siguro na for exam ka lang, you will be not facing. It's also initial interview. You can also wear a business casual attire, but be careful wearing casual attire. Mamaya, within that day din humarap ka sa head, you're underdressed.
So, yun.
The best is
good
professional.
To be safe na lang.
Yes, good to be safe.
Wear professional attire na lang. Okay. So, number 3 na preparation na kailangan natin gawin, of course, practice. Kasi practice makes perfect. Di ba, Dan? Oo. So, you have to know the company and the job you're applying for. Madami namang nandyan na. Actually, swerte nga tayo kasi at the tip of our fingers na lang, we can check on Google or on the background of the company. Sigurado, meron kang makukuhang details or use your creativity to check on the company that you're applying for para makita mo rin, of course, before you pursue with your application kung may fit ba na tinatawag doon sa skills mo, doon sa ina-applyan mo naman. Ayun din, yung job na ina-applyan mo, dapat alam mo kung ano yung requirements nun. Kasi just sharing done, sometimes may nag-a-apply na talagang sobrang layo nung qualifications doon sa job requirement. So it would be better it will not be a waste of your time kung nakita mo na talagang, ito pala yung kailangan, ito yung skills ko. You can compare kung ano yung current skill set mo, yung experience mo, and those of the requirement of the job. And then, tingnan mo kung ipupursue mo yung application mo. Yeah. Better talaga meron kang information.
Also, and also, knowing the company means yung sincerity mo sa pag-apply.
Yes. So,
kung if you took the initiative to know who is the company or what is the company or what is their business and everything, kung hindi sila kilala, then that's also sincerity na you want to learn more from them. You want to learn about them and you want to work for them. Kung pinakita mo na yung kilala ko kayo, gusto ko makilala niyo naman ako.
Yes, that's a big plus point actually pag ginawa mo yan. Okay, number 2, practice on your answers to possible questions. Dan, ano ba yung mga usual na questions na tinatanong natin?
The cliche, weaknesses and strengths. It's not bad to answer weakness. Kasi before, when I was applying, I was asked if I knew all the platforms, yung paggamit ng Jobs on 80. I answered no, honestly. But I extended that answer with I am willing to learn. Kasi it showed na wala nga akong fresh grad lang ako eh. I didn't have that knowledge. So I was willing to learn. And another is yung strengths. Usually don't oversell
Yeah.
yourself. Wag mo sabihin, I know Excel, 10 out of 10. Pag may tinanong sa'yo bigla na function si Excel, tapos sinabi mo, ay hindi ko po sure yun. That's a minus. That's a minus already for you. So always leave room for improvement, or always leave room for yourself. Na I'm not perfect, but I can be if you give me a chance to polish myself.
Yeah, o kasi usually naman ang mga employers, yung mga nag-hire, they're not really looking for somebody perfect. They're looking for yung may potential. At saka kami, personally, kami dito sa amin, sa AMSLI, we really look for good behavior. Yun muna yung inaano namin, tinitingnan. Kung maganda yung values, tapos willing to learn, mabilis yung makakatch up, yung ganun. Kasi we really expect na kapag, lalo na kapag fresh graduates, talagang hindi natin ma-expect na perfect na talagang polished na yung skill set. So there, just like what Dan said, wag nating i-project yung sarili natin na perfect tayo. So there. Going back, practice also video call with your family and friends para doon makita mo na kung paano gamitin yung technology na para sa interview. So yun, kapag meron na kayong actual practice ng family mo or ng friend mo, doon mo makikita minsan yung glitches eh. Yung, oo nga pala, pwedeng mawala yung internet. Oo nga pala, ito pala yung pinipindot kapag gusto mong makipag-chat sa kausap mo, yung mga ganun. So it's good to also do a simulation. Okay. So during the actual interview naman, we'll also be giving you tips and tricks about this. So gaya ng sabi ni Dan kanina, you have to answer truthfully. So this is making a good first good impression talaga kasi syempre sabi nga ni Dan, what if in-oversell mo yung sarili mo during the interview. And then, nung nandun ka na sa company, for example, na-hire ka, tapos you were asked to do that task, tapos hindi mo pala kayang gawin, hindi maganda yon, di ba? Hindi siya professional. And also, pwede rin umabot sa point na matanggal ka rin kasi that's misrepresentation on your part. Di ba, Dan? So,
baka bumagsak ka sa ano mo nun, sa appraisal mo nun after
a few
months.
Months or semesters. So there, if you're applying for a job, you've got to be honest about yourself and your background. Let the interviewer know your strong points, but be truthful when they ask about your weak points. And also, everyone's trying to sound impressive. So yun nga, sabi nga natin, napunta ka doon para magpa-impress. Pero your best bet is always to be honest as possible and genuine as possibly as you can. Diba? Okay. So there, kaya nang na-mention kanina, don't oversell yourself. Remember that if you're going to be hired, ipapagawa nga sa'yo yung mga sinabi mo. Kasi it's like a commitment. Kinumit mo na, ito kaya ko to, sige, okay, hire me kasi kaya ko to. And then nung pinagawa na sa'yo, hindi mo pala alam, di ba? So hindi magandang impression yon. Actually, kasi may probe pa. Doon ka, i-test, i-check kung kaya mo nga. Okay. So there, top 2 tips and tricks during the interview, you have to be yourself and you must stand out also kasi it may sound like a lame advice, but being yourself will help you shine in a unique way. Diba?
And kasi karamihan sa mga nag-a-apply sa akin, may yabang sila talaga. But some stand out kasi they became humble. Meron akong mga nakakaharap, wala silang nilalagay na title, CPA pala sila, I didn't know. I had to ask. And some of them stand out because kahit wala silang knowledge or experiences, they were asking about the company and they were willing to learn more about the company. And they are willing to learn about the position. Actually, minsan yung mga nag-a-apply, hindi nila alam yung positions. That's why I enlighten them. Then they tell me the same experience na na-experience nila before sa OJT.
There. Okay. So there, after the interview, you have to show the interviewer that you are grateful for the opportunity and you have to turn this into a learning opportunity also and do better in the future. Kasi during your interview, siguro afterwards, pag nag-evaluate ka na kung anong nangyari after your virtual interview, maiisip mo, ay, oo nga, dapat pala ganito yung ginawa ko. Dapat nag-prepare ako for the technology, yung ganun, medyo nakalimutan ko. So you have to improve in the future also. You have to evaluate what happened during your virtual interview.
Yeah. So don't be discouraged pag bumagsak man sa interviews. That means it's a learning opportunity. What went wrong, what went right, and what will I learn with this event?
Yeah. So there, you have to stay true to yourself pa rin. So in the span of your career kasi, you'll be given plenty of opportunities to express yourself. Put your best foot forward and show why you're a great person to work with. So dapat yung i-highlight mo sa sarili mo, yung uniqueness mo as a person and also sa career, kung ano yung gusto mo ma-achieve. You just have to be honest and truthful about the things that you will say. Yun.
Yeah, it's quite stressful din kasi kung hindi ka nagpakatotoo sa sarili mo.
So there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that's it.
Time's running out, I think.
Oo.
Before that, Dan will be giving you a few reminders.
Kung sige, so if you are interested na in applying with us, you can go to our job career website in sa jobs180.com. You can look at the screen. It's also, you can search it at jobs180.com/amsly. We have a few openings, especially mga programmers dyan. Hi, programmers!
Hello,
open
programmers.
kami.
Open kami. We're just here in Cubao, Quezon City.
IT profs,
Oo.
mga IT professionals, mga computer science. Hello!
Hello. You can, you have to create your resume link using the...
Using this platform,
this platform.
and this funnel of in recruitment. And if ever man siguro na you're highly interested talaga, siguro, I can also, kung pupunta ka bigla ng office, okay lang. Okay lang.
Oo.
But we have this health protocols to
Yes,
follow.
we have safety precautions in the office.
So,
So you have to wear your mask.
just bring your mask, bring your alcohol, bring your face shield. Yan. And I can accommodate you siguro din naman. Wala na rin problema sa amin because our health protocols are ironclad na rin.
Pero of course, it's better kung sa Jobs
Yes.
180 na lang kayo mag-create ng resume link kasi makikita naman namin yon, and gaya nga ng kanina ni Sir Kim, talagang it's very convenient and it's very easy to
So
to fill
remember
out.
those three things earlier. It saves time, it's convenient, and it's less cost. Cost. Yeah. Okay?
Okay, so there. Thank you for this great opportunity, jobs180.com and also New Era University. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you.
Shout out sa HCD
Shout out
family.
sa HCD family in
Nanonood yata
HR.
sila. Hello.
Hello.
Alright, so thank you po,
Thank
Sir
you.
Dan and Miss Myra. So,
Okay.
before po tayo to the backstage, meron lang po kaming question. So, ano na lang po ang bigyan natin suggestion or what is the most important thing po an applicant should remember when attending virtual interviews, especially for the fresh graduates?
Sige, Dan, ikaw na. Ay, hindi mo na agad. Sorry. Again, sorry.
Again, it's the question. I'm sorry.
Okay po. So the question was, ano po yung pinaka-importante or what is the most important thing an applicant po should remember when attending virtual interviews, especially po para sa ating mga fresh grads?
Okay, so remember, kung kabado kayo, siguro breathe in, breathe out. Hindi kami nangangain na tao. Tao lang din kami. And actually, if na-feel nyo na yung pressure pagharap sa amin, just remember, nagkukwento ka lang kung sino ka. Nagkukwento ka lang kung what was your experiences before, what kind of person you are. And most of these HR professionals, minsan hindi na namin alam yung technical things. So it's better for us to know who you are than to know what you do.
Yeah, that's right. And also, as I've mentioned kanina, yan sabi nga sa question, yung fresh graduates yung mag-a-apply, remember na the interviewer is not looking for somebody perfect. Talagang kailangan mo lang i-highlight yung mga strengths mo. And pag tinanong ka ng weaknesses mo, just present it truthfully or the best, honestly. Kasi hindi naman yun, it will not be taken against you. naman. So just be honest and truthful in answering the questions. And of course, kailangan din, syempre, you're there first and foremost, of course, to impress the interviewer also. I-highlight mo din yung mga strengths mo at the same time. For example, sa school, you joined mga groups na talagang naka-develop ng skills mo during college. Kailangan i-share mo rin yun kasi kasama yan sa evaluation ng interviewer.
Yeah. Also, naging applicant din kasi ako before. It's not bad to be rejected by a company. That means the company is not for you. Usually, those cultures, pilitin mong pumasok. Pag nakapasok ka, ang una mong sasabihin, parang hindi ko kaya. Kasi hindi kami fit sa isa't isa. Yan. Wala nang hugot, naisip ko lang. Well, no hugot, but that's the reality. Kahit gaano mo gustuin yung company, sometimes it's not for you. Yeah. So there's always that door will open. And I am thankful na lahat ng dinaanan kong employers I don't have anything bad to say about them. And I am in Amsley right now, and I have been here for 2 years, and I'm happy to say na wala rin akong bad to say about it. All those experiences before in other employers, it was because the need kasi malapit sa akin ganon, malapit sa ano ko. Usually ikaw tatanggap ka ba ng Makati kung taga Antipolo ka? No. So it all depends on who you are and where you are and the need ng company and your needs. Kung kaya niyong i-meet in between, that's the best. That's the best for you and the company. Yeah. Next question.
Okay, so Sir Dan, Ms. Myra, may question po tayo from the audience. So, from Ms. Lilette. So, ang question niya po ay, need po ba perfect ng English in interview? Minsan kasi nabablanko ka kapag tinatanong na kinauutal ka na ata, nagkakamali ka na. Minus din po ba yun?
Actually, tapos na ba siyang okay. So, actually, hindi naman. It depends on the position that you're applying for actually. Kasi if you're applying for a position that requires communication skills, that you have to be conversant in English, of course, you will be asked in English also. Pero on positions, halimbawa technical positions, programmer, halimbawa, or di kaya administrative associate, like that, na hindi naman highly required yung pagsasalita ng English, of course, hindi naman kailangan. Pwede namang Taglish. As long as you will be able to present yourself, you will be able to express yourself properly. Yun. Kasi kahit naman sino, talagang ang hirap din i-express kung puro straight English. Not unless, yun nga, kung yung requirement nung ina-applyan mo is kailangan marunong kang magsalita ng English. Yeah.
Okay. So another is, like we said earlier, be true to yourself. Ako, I am honest to say, hindi ako magaling sa English. But I have polished this. No. I have polished this in speaking, but I am also better at writing. Some people is like, para ganun lang sila. Magaling sila sa writing, pero in speaking, nabablanko sila. Here's the ultimate tip. If you want to speak English, think English. And another is, if you can't speak in straight English, go Taglish as long as may intindihan ka nung kausap mo. Remember, it's not our first language. Filipino is our first language. If you can speak in Taglish in a way na maintindihan ka ng kausap mo, that's better. Kaysa naman English ka ng English, hindi ka naintindihan ng karap mo. It's okay. Just speak in a certain way na nagigets ka ng kausap mo. Ganito ako magsalita pag nag-interview kami in a Taglish manner kasi minsan napo-pressure na si applicant kasi English ako ng English. Siguro kinakabahan. So siguro I also adjust myself a bit.
Kasi there's the need na kailangan mapalagay yung kausap mo eh. Kasi interviewing is also a means of communication. Kumbaga nagpa-bargaining kayo, nag-uusap kayo. Itong meron ako, ito yung requirement ko, ikaw, anong meron sa'yo, yung gano'n. Ganon siya. That's why it's very important na talaga nagkakaintindihan kayo. So, hindi naman kailangan talaga.
And also, as a male recruiter kasi, malalim ang boses ko sa phone. So, I adjust to the applicant a bit kasi minsan akala ko parang nasa interrogation na ako, ayaw niya nang magsalita. Parang, sir, hindi po, hindi po, sir, yes po, sir, no po. Ganun, it's just yung kwento lang, kwentong may kinukwentuhan ka lang na friend mo na ito yung nangyari sa akin itong mga nakaraan. May experiences na babagay sa sa pupuntahan ko. That's it. Not necessarily perfect in English. Siguro sa position talaga. In writing usually. But in speaking, nasa na yun, nasa what you call this, yung mga positions na interpreter. Yan, yung mga, it will need the speaking and the writing. Yun. That's it. Hmm.
All right. So, thank you so much, Sir Dan and Miss Myra. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you
And
din. Thank you din.
yes po, we're hoping to see you soon po sa ating mga next June. Okay, so thank you so much po again and stay safe po. Okay? So again, shout out NEU viewers. Ang dami natin viewers today. So I hope talaga nag-enjoy ating viewers. So let's go na po to our next speaker. Okay, so our next speaker has more than 17 years of experience in recruitment, sourcing, and human resources. He manages the internal recruitment team and is in charge of technology and process enhancements, increase productivity and efficiency for PSG Global Solutions. Um, the manager for internal recruiting of PSG Global Solutions, Mr. Paolo de la Cruz. Hi, sir.
Hi. Good afternoon. Can you hear me all right? Hi,
Yes, po.
Joyce.
Okay,
Nice
so
to meet
let's.
you.
Hi, sir. So let's test your screen.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Just a moment. All right. So good afternoon, New Era University. So I'm also here to talk about hiring for work from home jobs, how to prepare and what to expect. And I was listening on the in and on the presentation by Amsly about applying how to apply for a work from home job, and they had such a great presentation. I think they've pretty much covered how to prepare for a job. So I think one thing that I would like to discuss is what to expect. Okay, so yeah, what I will discuss today are observations I've had from my team and uh, items that I've read about the work from home setup. So just to share with you, PSG is one of the earliest companies to adopt the work from home setup. Even before the pandemic happened, we were already exploring, migrating a lot of our workforce to at least a hybrid model, wherein some of us work from home, or we work from home on partially during the week, or throughout the whole week, and so we were already in plans to as to how to bring that about. And it just makes sense. It makes sense financially for the company, of course, working from home. It's less overhead for us, of course, and it also provides more comfort for our employees. So when the pandemic hit, we were able to bring the entire company. So it's about, it was 1,500 people. We've grown much larger, excuse me, since then. But we've we were uniquely poised as to moving to the work from home setup, and we were able to bring the whole company uh, under a work from home setup in less than a week. So it was a huge effort on the part of our IT team, our admin teams, and a lot of the support groups. But we were able to do it, and we've been functioning on a work from home setup for the past 2 years. Now, personally, I manage the internal recruitment team, and since the pandemic have started, we have experienced a lot of growth When I joined PSG, 2019, early 2019, it was we were hiring about 15 per week. Right now we are at 55 per week, and our team hasn't grown as much, but we're leveraging a lot on technology. But PSG has seen a lot of success as when the pandemic hit. What happened is a lot of companies, they realized that they didn't need um, a static in-house recruitment team. So what PSG does is we are an RPO. So we do hiring for companies in the US, and we do hiring for some companies in the Philippines as well. So when the pandemic hit, what happened to a lot of recruiting teams in the US and here in the Philippines is, they realized that now that recruitment is stopped, now that they don't need more people, a huge in-house recruitment team, didn't have wasn't as useful. So a lot of them, unfortunately for those companies and those recruiters, a lot of them had to dissolve their recruitment teams. And a lot of those recruiters who lost their jobs during the pandemic actually ended up working with PSG. And so now we are supporting a lot of companies, as I said, in the US and the Philippines, who have decided, that it's much easier to outsource their recruitment to us. It's a lot safer for them, and it makes sense for them financially as well. So on to our team. So we've grown quite significantly, and when the pandemic started and I started my team working from home, at first it was quite novel, and we they would it was quite interesting for us. It meant, to our mind at first, that it's a lot of free time. Don't have to worry about commuting, you don't have to worry about traffic or any of those things. You just have to log into Zoom. You don't even really have to dress up, so to speak. And that, I think, and is where it started. And as it's grown, and we've hired new people in the team, we've come to several realizations. So the first thing is that it is definitely not easy to work from home. Okay, so the difference between there are a lot of differences between working in the office and working at home. And I think the big one very important thing that you realize when you take on a work from home job is, you will be missing a lot of the interactions, the personal interactions which happen when you are working on site. And this is especially, I think it's a sad fact for especially you fresh graduates and people who will be taking their first jobs, is that your first job is in a situation where you won't be able to see anyone and meet anyone. And I think that's especially sad because your first job, and I remember my first job, it's always a great thing. It's something often that you measure all your succeeding jobs against. And it's where your first job is where you start earning from yourself, where you have, I would say, your first group of adult friends, and you have your first office crush, things like that. And now that we are in a work from home setup, while we were in a pandemic, it's robbed us of a lot of that interaction. So what happens is all of your interaction for your job is all just work. So you're just working. You only talk to other people about work. There's no chance for you to just to create relationships with your coworkers, and it's quite unfortunate because a lot of when you start working, and you develop a support group, so to speak, at home, where sorry, at the office, where if you're having trouble, you go to someone, they can help you. If you're stressed, you can just tap your friend on the shoulder, rant to them for a bit. But working from home, a lot of that interaction is gone. I mean, I guess you could Viber your coworkers, right, or things like that, but it's not the same. So, and I've read studies about this, that because of that, a lot of companies are experiencing attrition from new hires, and that when people enter these companies where they're on a work from home setup, they aren't able to build a support group for themselves. well, and it's very important when you're working is that you have a support group, you have people to support you both professionally and emotionally, and it's really hard to do that when you're not interacting. So it's something that I'm working on with my team. We've tried to include more touch bases, more personal interactions between us and between the recruiters. We're trying to create situations where we don't interact just for work. We interact, to share, just to go offline, so to speak. But it's different. These are forced interactions. They aren't the organic, natural interactions that you have in the office. And I think that's something that all of you, and not to scare you, all of you fresh grads will have to deal with. That when you enter a work from home setup, yeah, the support will not necessarily be there. It'll be there, but to a certain extent, and that's really something you should prepare for. You should prepare for yourself for, and there are good sides and bad sides to it. Of course, working from home, you do save a lot of money, and it's quite safe, especially now with the pandemic out. It's very safe that you don't have to go to the office, but it is different, and you will also have to be more self motivated. Working from home, it's easy to just kick back in between work and just take a nap or something like that. But your targets are still there. Your deliverables are still there. So and you don't have someone breathing down your neck. You don't have a boss, so to speak, to constantly be driving you and looking over your shoulder and looking at you're doing. So you have to do that to yourself. You have to police yourself. You have to keep yourself motivated, and you have to catch yourself. And there are a lot of companies are experiencing this right now, and they're approaching it different ways. I think some companies are exploring the way that work is done now that we're working from home. Is it necessary for us to work 9 to 5? Is that the optimal working time? Is a straight shift the optimal shift to explore when you're working from home? And there are a lot of things that the companies are doing to try to adjust the work from home experience. And I think I'm able to speak on it is because we've been doing it for so long. And I've seen how it has affected me and my team. So that's one. So one is your social interactions within the office are definitely affected. Another thing that is definitely affected is your logistics. Your work equipment. A lot of it depends on you. Like if you're in the office and the internet goes down, then yay, free day of work, right? But when you're working from home and you're working on your home connection, if it goes down, you really definitely have to find a way to adjust to that. So you have to have backups for everything. You have to have backup, a power bank for your phone, a power bank for your laptop. You have to have a backup for your internet, maybe a backup in power for your modem, because when you're working on a shift, if things go down, it's you can't just say, oh, internet went down or electricity went down, and the work's gone. No, the work is still there and it still has to be done. So it's essential that you prepare yourself that for that setup. And working from home, you constantly make sure that you have backups for everything. Constantly make sure that everything's charged. Um, Make sure that your connectivity is good, things like that. So a lot more of the burden of making sure that you are equipped and prepared to work is placed on you, and not the company they work for. So here at PSG, we do provide equipment for people that we hire. In case you don't have your own equipment, we will provide it for you. But it's still important that you have backups for that. That's thing that you will have to adjust to as well, preparing yourself technologically and logistically to work from home. I think an important thing to look for is so when you were applying for a job, this is I guess will be your first job, is to ask companies about the setup. If they're a work from home setup, feel free to ask them. Ask them, how are you supporting your workers that now that you're on work from home setup? What is the shift? What's the equipment that you will be providing to me? Those are things that you should be asking your prospective employer before you take on a job. Now, during an interview, it's a two-way street. Okay. Sure, you're worried about getting a job, and I think my colleagues from Amsly already pointed that out. Is that di sila nangangain ng tao. They definitely want to hire you. So it's important that the job you're applying for is something that is really right for you. And working in recruitment as long as I have, recruitment for me it's not as important that we meet our targets. What's important for me is that each person that I hire is that I give them a job that is good for them, that will improve their lives, because recruitment is a very very big responsibility. When you give someone a job, you are affecting their lives, and giving them the wrong job can cause them a lot of stress, a lot of distress, can set them back career wise. So it's a very important responsibility on our end, and you as an applicant also have those. Sorry about that. You as an applicant also have those responsibilities that you have to contend with as well. Uh, you make sure that you know as much about the job as you can before taking it on, and feel free to ask at any at the end of the interview, ask these questions. What are they gonna be doing to support you? How long have they been on a work from home setup? How will I engage with my supervisor? Things like that. These are very very important questions, and will improve your experience when you're finally started with your new job. So don't be afraid to ask. If It's important that you take a job which is the right for you. You take a job where you will be happy and successful. So a big part of that is knowing what you're walking into and knowing if that is really something that is aligned to your expectations. All right. So that's pretty much it for me. I would really, prefer to hear from you any questions that you might that you might have. So these are things that and I'd really hope to hear from you during the question answer portion. I think that's the best way I could probably help you guys. And congratulations on entering the workforce. All right. So let me move on to the next part. Okay, so here we go. So all right, so that's PSG. For inquiries and applications, you can apply through this QR code. Although I would suggest that you apply through Jobs 180 through PSG. Feel free to reach out through us there. Uh, aside from uh, aside from applying at PSG, if you don't really want to be a recruiter, there's still opportunities for you to earn. You can still refer candidates to us through our referral network. You can get 2,000 for referring a recruitment specialist, $300 for a team leader, 500 for a manager director. And these are the ways that you can refer to us. Okay. So like and follow us on the following. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to us through there. All right, that's it for me.
All right. So thank you, Sir Paolo. So for the Q&A, I think our audience wants to know what are the vacancies po available for the work from home jobs at ESG.
All right, so we do have openings. I guess the most pertinent to you would be our frontline openings. Although we do have a lot of director openings as well. But for frontline, what we're primarily looking for are senior recruiters. So for a recruiter, you do exactly that. As a recruiter, what you would do is you'd be working just like me. You'd be recruiting people. So recruitment job is the same across any industry. I've worked in several industries already. I've worked in the banking industry. I've worked in telcos. I've worked in BPOs, and I'm working here in an RPO right now. Recruitment jobs are the same. So you're given a job description, which is essentially a list of things that role that the client is looking for in a candidate, and you take that job description and then you look for a candidate. You look for them on job boards, you look for them on LinkedIn, and when you find someone, you give them a call and you uh, convince them to apply for the job. So the interviewing happens after, but first you have to convince them that you have to sell the job to them, and make them interested. And once and only once they are interested, that's when you would conduct your interview. And if they pass, you'd endorse them to the client. So that's primarily what we're looking for, senior recruiters. We also have a lot of jobs in admin and back office, also supporting recruitment. So payroll jobs, administrative jobs, credentialing, which is providing work credentials to hires, setting them up with your emails, things like that. We have background checking jobs. So all of our jobs are basically around recruitment. So if you are not a graduate of psychology, so usually when you apply for a recruiting job, they're usually looking for people with a psychology background. Here at PSG, we don't require you to have any background in recruitment. We don't even require that you have graduated from a course which is related to recruitment. You don't have to be a psych graduate. You don't have to be an HR graduate. Any course or is open to PSG, and we are even open to undergraduates and even senior high school graduates. So it's pretty broad. I think the only requirement that we would need is that you have good English or written and verbal communication skills. That's basically it. But for the back office jobs, we wouldn't even require that. But yeah, those are our openings. So if you want to start a career in recruitment, I will. I know we would be very happy to have you. The only requirement that we would have is that you be willing to learn. And I've been doing this for such a long time. It's not an easy job. Uh, but it is very fulfilling. I would say recruitment, because when you are a recruiter, like I said, you are changing lives. So if you appreciate that, if you appreciate the importance of your job, then the importance of recruitment in a person's life, then we are very welcome to have you, and we'd like to bring you on.
All right. So we also have a question here, sir. So from Rian Lubel Zapata. So the question is, how should we approach the HR formally if we have some issues to address, given the fact that the majority of the employees are working from home?
Okay, so there are different approaches to HR. Actually, a lot of companies are now transitioning to a self-service HR function. So there's a portal, and then if you have any questions, you can log on to there, and then state your concerns. It's similar to how IT does it. You file a ticket. Like if you have an HR concern, you would file a ticket, There are lots of drop downs there in the system where you can choose what kind of concern you have, and then maybe a short message about your concern. So most companies would do that now, and it's important. And some companies even have a self-service function wherein the system is able to answer, easy questions that you might have about HR. But otherwise, what essentially does is it sends a message to the HR department about your concerns and allows them to reach out back to you and address your concern. So, if there is no HR portal for the company that you join, you simply sending them an email with your concern is probably the best way to go. So HR is there to help you. And that is the job of working in human resources. They are there to preserve your well-being, to care for you. So don't feel shy about reaching out to them, whether it's through email. Usually the first people you will encounter when you join a company are from HR. They'll be doing your orientation, so get to know them so that when you join you can reach out to them if you have any concerns.
Okay, so another one, sir. So, from Julius Reyes. So, are office jobs stable or suitable for a working student?
So it would really depend. Okay. Working personally, I feel that if you are a student, you have a lot on your plate already. So you have, and I would put prior. It depends on what you prioritize: your studies, or your job. And I understand the priorities could be different between different people. So I would put the priority on time, uh, on which one you value more. So yes, definitely, there's opportunities for you to be a working student, but at the get go, you have to already decide which one do I want to give more preference to, because you will it'll be hard to juggle both, and there will be times where you will be forced to choose. And it is important that you already outline, what your expectations are when you take on a job, that as to what your priority would be. So taking on freelance work is a good example, because you get to work at your own time, but an office job would have expectations when it comes to time. They would be a lot more rigid. So if you, before taking on a work from an office job, for as a working student, take note of their schedule, take note of their expectations, and align it to you how much you would be able to balance that between your work and your needs as a student. So that would be so yeah, there are jobs that exist that are flexible, but it's a matter of finding them and making sure that you set expectations with your recruiter as to what you can give in terms of time and what they would expect from you.
All right, so another one. So, kaya pa ba, sir? Okay.
Oh,
So,
of course. Like I said, I love questions.
all right.
So, be, there, video interviews. I would say that there isn't much difference between interviewing someone over video as to interviewing someone face to face. You're able to see them. You're able to look at their visual cues. You're able to assess, what's on the resume. I think the only difference is you won't be able to smell them, right? So I don't think it is. I don't think it's really much of an issue. Hence, the success of my team throughout the pandemic. That we've been doing it. We've been doing it all this time, and PSG as in itself. A lot of our interviews are our operations team. They would be doing a lot of their interviews over the phone, so not even videos, and they do these for these companies in the US, and they are quite successful at it. So being face to face is not essential, I think, to the interviewing process. It is there are some companies that prefer that, I think, but personally, as a recruiter, I don't think it's necessary.
right, thank you. So I think wala na po tayong questions. So I think that's it. Thank you, Sir
Oh,
Paolo. Thank you
okay.
so
Well,
much
thank you.
po.
Thank you very much for your time. And you guys, good luck with your job hunting. I wish you the best of luck. Just be sure to, get the best job that you can for yourself. This is a very exciting and important time for you. And I hope you all, um, enjoy yourselves. Thank
Okay,
you.
once again, thank you so much, Sir Paolo and stay safe.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye po. Okay, so for those po audience who still have questions, we will try po to answer them later or off. Okay, so to officially close today's session, may we call on Brother Daniel Briones, the University Secretary, for closing remarks.
A good day to each and everyone who is witness to this very important event sponsored by Jobs180.com, an active industry partner of the university. We would like to give kudos to OCPIL, the Office for Career Placement and Industry Linkages, headed by Dr. Julie T. Valencia and Brother Richmond Lumaban, for their ceaseless efforts to make this event possible. We would also like to acknowledge the appearance of my fellow academicians and administrators. And also, we would like to thank the NEU Board of Trustees for their precious assistance, led by their chairperson, Attorney Dorothy Christine M. Orosa. Most especially, we would like to thank the Iglesia Ni Cristo administration, especially our dearest Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for without him, this event would not be possible. Unbeknownst to many, in the year 2018, we briefly served as the director of OCPIL, and we saw firsthand the need for the students of New Era to find gainful employment once they have completed their education here. That is why we championed the cause enrollment to employment. Simply put, OCPIL would try to guide the students while they are studying so that they are prepared for their lives as parts of the Filipino workforce. And we are proud to see that until this very moment, even though we are in very special circumstances, OCPIL is still looking out for the welfare of the soon-to-be graduates of this university. And we would also like to thank our active industry partners like Jobs180.com for preparing these students for their future. Nevertheless, we would like to ask you, dear students, to be mindful. Always do live by the vision, mission, goals, and objectives of this university. Most especially objective number 8, in which you are expected to become disciplined, not only in your actions, not only in your words, but also in your thoughts. That is why it would lead to competence in the field of specialization that you have chosen. Learning should not end after graduation. Try to seek out additional knowledge to supplement what you have gained here in this university to help you out in landing that dream job. And above everything else, prove in every waking moment of your lives that you are God-fearing. Remember that as members of the New Era University family, it is expected of you to be Christian in everything that you do, whether it be face-to-face or online. And most especially, while you try to gain employment in these circumstances. We would ask of you, dear students, to always stay safe, to always follow rules and regulations, and always live by the values taught to you here in this university. Once again, our sincerest congratulations for those of you who are part of this very special event. Maraming salamat po.
All right. So thank you, Brother Erwin, Briannas. Also, we would like to thank Dr. Julie po. She's actively watching and commenting. Hi po, and I miss you, Ma'am Julie. Also, we would like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Check out the CEO store in Lazada and Shopee or at the nearest mall in your area to shop for your corporate attire needs. And for career opportunities, visit jobs180.com/CEO Group. So, guys, please watch out for the next set of webinars we are hosting for. And please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome to join in on those sessions. So, with that, our sessions ends today. Thank you so much. See you and have a great afternoon. Stay safe, everyone.